Are you a Star Citizen noob? Did you skip the tutorial? Did the tutorial skip you? Well, that's great. That's terrible. But it's not all bad, because I'm going to teach you how to start out Star Citizen, and I'm going to teach you how to fly. But I'm only going to go over the basics. Once you've wandered your way to the local spaceport, you'll want to come over to one of these kiosks. You'll then be able to choose which ship you want to pick to fly. I think I want to use a starter ship for this demonstration. Let's go with the Drake Cutter. Brand new players will have to hit the deliver button, but then after that, once you hit the retrieve button, it'll be sent to your hangar. Once the ship has been retrieved, each player receives their own personalized hangar. And there's our cutter waiting for us. Now, each hangar is different size depending on your largest ship in your fleet. New players will probably have a smaller one. If this is your first time ever playing Star Citizen, I welcome you to the most immersive space game on the planet. Let's go ahead and close up this door, and then after that, go ahead and take a look around your ship. There should be all sorts of different kinds of components and facilities that you can interact with, and each one is different depending on which one you're flying. Heading into your cockpit is no different, as each and every ship has its own unique setup and experience. To take a look at all of your controls on your dashboard, just hold the F key and you'll have a cursor show up that will allow you to interact with different parts of the ship. If, however, you'd like to freely look around inside your seat, all you have to do is hold Z and then you can move your head around. These screens here are fully interactable. Clicking on one of these options can deactivate and activate any one of my internal ship systems. Same goes for buttons and switches. But I'm going to make it easy on you and use keys. Pressing U will toggle all of your ship's power on and off, while pressing I will simply toggle on and off your engines only. To swap between first person and third person, press F4, and pressing K will toggle your VTOL engines like this. These are mainly used for takeoff and landing. Not every ship has a VTOL engine, so don't worry if nothing happens. The next step, and a very important one, is taking off. To do this, you'll want to briefly tap the spacebar. Great! Now that you've successfully launched yourself into the ceiling because you held spacebar too long, let's try a landing while holding the control button. Good, now let's try this one more time. Just tapping spacebar in a small ship is good enough to take off perfectly. Taking off and landing is probably one of the most difficult parts about flying, so I recommend practicing it a little bit if you can. Next, let's head back into first person and go over ship maneuvering. Steering is done by using your mouse. If you look up, you can see that we're currently inside of a vertical hangar. The other type of hangar is a horizontal hangar. If you see these lines to the left and right of my reticle, this will indicate the horizon, showing you that you're parallel with the ground while planetside. Likewise, if you're above the line, that means you're going up. If you're below the line, then you're probably going to crash. This can be helpful while flying in the dark. While turning, your ship will tilt. Pressing Q or E will make you do a barrel roll, which will help you reorient yourself properly. Pressing W and S will help you move forward or backward, and pressing D or A keys will help you strafe right to left. To activate and deactivate your landing gear, simply press the N key. Now that our landing gear is up, we can move on to actual flying. To get out of this hangar, let's go ahead and check out this screen to my right. Clicking this arrow will help me sift through different options on the menu. This page has specific ship configurations. One thing to note is you always want to make sure that your couple mode is activated like I have here. This will help steer your ship better. These other options really aren't necessary to mess with unless you want to customize your systems personally. And here's a couple other tabs that you can mess with. But what we're really looking for is the next page. It says communications. And then we want to find this thing that says spaceport, and then we want to hail the spaceport. And as you can see at the top of our screen, the request to leave our hangar has been completed. The only thing left to do is wait for the doors to open. The cutter has a visual bug which makes it look like my landing gear is currently down even though I technically have it up. It'll retract once I activate my VTOLs. Another thing to note is when exiting a hangar, you always want to make sure that the doors are open wide enough for your ship to fit through. Otherwise, you'll end up crashing. Ooh, we have a ship approaching. I wonder what that is. In order to see what that is, press T. This will target the nearest ship in front of you, as well as toggle to another ship near you. Looks like we have a busted up Constellation coming in for repairs. Alright, enough of that. It's time for the best part. Are you ready? I'll just deactivate my VTOL real quick, and let's go! Oh, I guess that Connie decided not to land. Anyway, let's speed things up. Go ahead and press B to activate Quantum Nav Mode. Sorry, hold B. This will deactivate your speed limiters and allow you to reach maximum velocity. Okay, next we want to find the nearest orbital station. Each one is different depending which planet you come from. And while in quantum nav mode, we want to spool up our quantum drive. This is indicated by the bar loading on the left. Then we hold the left mouse button to activate the quantum jump. Awesome, now you're in space. I'm going to go ahead and approach the station while still in nav mode. It'll get me there a lot faster that way. But you'll need to know rule number 1 of spaceflight. Never fly directly at your target. Trust me, you'll thank me later. You'll notice we're coming in pretty quick. Don't worry, you can fix this by taking your finger off the throttle and then holding the B button to go back into SCM mode. This will immediately cut your speed and you'll come to a gradual stop without any problems. Now, I know you didn't listen to any of my instructions and you became a smear on the side of this station. But that's okay. I'll just wait for you to recover and come back. For those of you who did listen, let's move on to the next step. Engine boosting. This is done by holding down the shift button. You'll notice that the engine's flared up, indicating that you are in boost mode. This does have a limited use though, and it will have to recharge after you've used up all of your boost. I personally recommend taking a few laps around the station and practice flying a little bit just to get a feel for how your ship maneuvers and how it handles. During this time, you'll need to know rule number 2. Always be aware of your surroundings, so you don't become another splat on the side of a space station. Most ships and vehicles have a weapon. To activate these weapons, simply hold down the left mouse button while in SCM mode. There's also a specialized targeting system. This can be activated while holding down the right mouse button. Alright, now we're on to the last step, calling for landings. What you'll want to do is go back to your Communications tab, and then look for the station that you're currently at. Then click Hail. This should grant you access to land in one of the hangars. There we go. Now, remembering rule number 1, never fly directly towards your target. We want to make our way towards the hangar. A good thing to remember when coming into your hangar is the closer you get to your destination, you want to start to slow down and kind of inch your way towards your location. If you feel like you might be approaching too quickly, you can always activate your landing gear. This will slow you down and help you land more safely. For those of you who paid attention in class, you should be coming in for a nice smooth landing. For those of you who didn't listen, I'm sorry, but you're probably a smear against the back wall of the landing zone. And there you have it, a successful flight on your very first try. Your very first try, right? Now, once you've landed, you can choose to turn off the power systems, whether it's just your engine or your entire power systems altogether. Inside a hangar, it really doesn't matter, but when you're out in a public area, you probably just want to turn off your engines. To get out of your cockpit easily, all you have to do is hold Y. And the last and final thing that we'll do is stow our ship. If we can get these darn doors to open up. A few last things to remember. Whichever hangar you land in becomes your character's login point, which means that no matter where you are in the universe, if you log out, you will log back in at the last station that you landed at. Also, if you land in a public area and you leave your doors open, your ship can be stolen. Anyway, once we've stowed our ship, that's basically the tutorial for flying. So if you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will have more in the future.